What up, my freaks? Ruinous Insight here with part 12 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Taurox the Brass Bull campaign. Taurox, relax. Would you just relax for a second? I'm trying to talk. I mean, damn. It's very distracting. He's not distracting as Malekith. Malekith is just the most obnoxiously distracting character in the game. But you know what? That's kind of on par for him, or par for the course for him. It's on theme for him, is what I'm getting at. But anyway, what was I getting at? Last time, as we saw last time, we bullied the very skies themselves as Malachor acquired the Icon's vilification, and we underwent a little bit of a retrofit for his army. Then we also managed to bully many an orc last time, taking out Grom the Paunch's 2 orky stacks and Grungsent, his biggest remaining citadel, settlement, whatever, and I'm pretty sure knocking out Grom the Paunch for good. We ended off the episode with Oleg Kraktuv here, who's a little savage orc skull-taker's army that just randomly spawned in the path of the bull, and naturally they're gonna have to get the horns, which we will do so in a second. Before we jump into the battle, however, actually, at the time of this writing, we are not at the engagement threshold, but I have to travel tomorrow, so I'm recording this like 8 hours earlier than I normally do, so I'm just going to give you guys the benefit of the doubt and assume that we will eventually reach the threshold by the time that it is supposed to be reached. So I'll do an hour for this one as well, and the offer will remain as it currently is, 300 likes and 50 comments, and the next episode will be an hour long as well. Anyway, we got giants, we got savage orcs, we got savage orc boar boys, and plenty of stuff to be getting on with, so bull away. Alright, here we go. Wasn't originally expecting to fight this battle, but hey, we can make the most of it. And yeah, we haven't actually fought Savage Orcs by themselves yet, so why not? And man, Taurox actually, if anything, he looks scarier when he's in the dark like this. He looks outright demonic, which I'm sure his Dark Masters can appreciate. Yeah, that is extremely frightening. I love you, Taurox. Away you go, buddy. There's an enemy war boss for you to face off against. Although I don't think he'll be facing off against you all that long. Now, it's very difficult to see what's happening over on this side of the column. I think there should be some lighter areas. Oh, there's the Bloodbeast activation in the background. Should be some lighter areas back here somewhere. But I suppose it's not the worst thing in the world to get an occasional dark fight. Alright, we've sent in our fast movers to destroy the error boys, while our minotaurs and razor gores hold off the enemy pile of orc boys, or boar boys rather. And lastly, the 3 enemy elite units, I guess, the 2 enemy giants and the 1 enemy unit of trolls. All 3 of our gore bulls are here to focus down and bring down those giants. Normally, obviously, we'd have Taurox do it, but, well, these guys can handle it, and by the looks of it, even if we can't really tell what's going on. I feel like any army that, you know how artillery is stealable? I feel like giants should be stealable as well. Or maybe I'm wrong, but especially for factions that have giants of their own. And giants aren't particularly smart, so maybe it would be too difficult to convince them to stop fighting and not die, but who knows. And then again, they somehow managed to convince them to join the armies in the first place, so yeah. Oh, if we can try to get a battle of Beastmen Giant versus Savage Giant at some point, that would be nice as well. Anyway, speaking of the Savage Giant, it looks like it's shattered. In fact, the rest of the army has already shattered. Taurox, I'm sure, had destroyed the enemy lord, and the enemy had far too many archers and stuff in the center of their formation, which just got destroyed by our fast movers. This was an ambush, so we expected to be a very quick battle, and a very quick battle it was. Alright, very nice, very nice. That went pretty much as we expected it would. 2.3k money, not bad in terms of money rewards as well, but it's mostly from the lunar eclipse thing that we've got going on. We could heal up, but at 2.7k I don't think we should, so let's take the money. We got stuff to build after all. We'll destroy this army, we'll head to Landrel Barrow, and I do believe that will destroy this faction for good, yes? Yeah, they got one settlement remaining. Sorry, Grom, but, well, you got to moo what you got to moo. Yeah, just go into ambush stance, it doesn't really matter. And ambushed again, auto-resolve this, probably gonna hurt some of our units a little bit, but it always... wasn't that bad. 1,000 gold. I'm still gonna say take the gold. I know everything is... ooh, a Lichbone Pennant. Now that was a nice pickup. A very nice pickup indeed, and I forgot what I was going to say because I got so excited by that particular pickup, so yes. Take Landrel Barrow, and I guess we're going to get to the... get the Herdstone up and running here. Alright, and oh, wait, are we no longer able to... No, we are able to replenish, okay, good. For a second I thought that... we no longer had it out. We're actually nearly at the next mark as well. Are we able to auto-resolve this incidentally? We, by the looks of it, are, but are there any armies that would immediately attack us if we did? I don't see anybody at Tancred. And we're not currently at war with these orcs, and frankly, Brokewater doesn't even apply to all this stuff. Gotta remember to come back down from Marienburg at some point. But anyway, Taurox, away. Do we need to level you? Oh, how close are you to your Bloodbeast Behemoth 28, eh? Gonna possibly happen this episode. Well, that's what I like to see. Auto-resolve. And a little bit of damage, but we'll come back up next turn. And we're gonna raise the Herdstone, as it would probably cost roughly the same amount to recolonize it. And this will allow us to heal to full. And another Gift of Chaos, very nice. Plenty of Chaos gifts, the Broken Axe have been destroyed, and the Savage Rampage has been achieved. Beautiful. I guess you may want to leave this territory and raid its vicinity. I mean, your Bestial Rage is actually more or less maxed out right now anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Does one of them... just go into raiding anyway. Yeah, that's fine. And then I guess we'll hit the Tancred Castle next, though that looks fairly weak. I'm sure we'll find Lewin here eventually, as COURONNE is quite nearby. Also, we are getting very close towards this thing. The next capacity increase, or the ability to buy capacity increases via these upgrades. So we'll want to get this, but you know what? If we're going to build an army shortly, we may want to purchase these upgrades as well. I did want to get the 3000 tier 5 upgrade, but, you know, there's some good stuff here. Ooh, Lords and Heroes recruited rank 5, 10, and 15. How much would this cost, though? Just give me a second. Yeah, level 15 is a pretty huge difference. I want us to check something. Does this need to be unlocked? Immunity to attrition unlocks the final battle. Spirit of Gorok Horde. No, it doesn't. So I think we can get this at any time. So effectively, we just need to save up 4.5k dread, but that's quite a bit. Maybe we'll do level 10 at 2.5k. That's very achievable. And if we get a little bit more, we could have this. I'd like for the Lords to be effectively immediately functional, you know what I mean? New Horde armies are raised with Horde encampment building at level 2 and a den build. Oh, so basically this is the only one that's worth it. I don't really care about the den building. Yeah, it saves us like 5k, but... Alright, so... that means maybe we wait for a turn. Alright. I'm just gonna figure this out. We'll do that. You don't necessarily have to do it right now. Does anybody else have to move this turn? No, nobody else has to move this turn. We may be able to acquire sufficient dread next turn. I'm just wondering whether we should pop either the replenishment, which we could actually use right now, but we're healing fine, so I think we'll hold off on that. We still have Stampede of Dread, and we still have Call of the Wargors up and running. We'll get the Wargor up next turn. We could do the Savage Rampage, but I am very tempted by the Stampede of Moorsleep. It's just that Another turn of the income from post-battle loot might be worth our time, and if we're about to pop a ritual, we may want the lunar eclipse up until we do. I suppose what we could do is pop this ritual right now, because we're probably not going to make our way back to Pina Wood and Diamanterra soon, and see if that takes us to the threshold. Take us to the threshold. Well, let's do it. Hopefully it will. I think last time I tried to calculate it and I figured that it would be just short, and if that's the case, it'll be unfortunate, but do it anyway. I guess we gotta get a herdstone back right now anyway. And, yeah, it's just short. Well, that's a shame. Oh well, not a big deal. Yeah, alright, fine. We'll keep the lunar eclipse still for one more turn, then we'll activate the next eclipse thing right after. I'm just wondering whether it can reduce the cost of various dread upgrades, which is why I want to save up a little bit. Alrighty, unassigned skill point buildings, outposts, all that can be ignored. Korgoth Chaos Seeker continues to move northward to seek chaos. And let's end the turn and let's continue. Did I forget anything? Well, if I did, I did. Too late now. Just one small ritual will take us to the threshold. We don't see it. Oh, and Rakarth was near to Malagor, but unfortunately it looks like we were not able to get the reward there, or the ambush there, but it's okay. I see COURONNE is still looking pretty strong, judging by the balance of power. Which may mean we'll have to have a nice fight against them. Or maybe a few nice fights against them. I wonder where Lewin is hanging around. And what do we have here? Free total favor? Yeah, we'll take the total favor. Alright, Confederation, Clan Squire, and Clan Carrion. I don't see why we'd care. Some plagues, but that's just fine. Kazrak. Oh, damn, these guys are recovering. Alright, how close can you go to Essen? Reasonably close. Alright, fine. Go to Essen. Fast as you can. Fast as you can. Like so. Then we should be able to take a look at our new Wargors. Ooh, hello, Khorne's Fury. Confident and Nurgle's Foul Stink. Enemy leadership reduction, eh? Could work nicely with Malagor in theory. And the thing is, we need to get some of these guys on the field, and we're going to be spending money. You know what, let's get the Nurgle Foul Stink one. I want to see what buffs they give us. Since we don't have any Wargor... Oh, they give us replenished troops. Oh, damn. Okay, yeah, we may have to build a Wargor everywhere. And hello, what do we have here? Forerunner gives us attribute Vanguard deployment when not using a mount. For this... Oh, for Godgor's and Bestigor's Vanguard deployment. Okay, yeah, we obviously need these guys here. And Encourage for Godgor's and Bestigor's. What does this do? Fear for Chaos Warhounds and Fear and Frenzy for Harpies. Okay, so Malagor does need one. And you're too far, which means, Malagor, you're going to have to build this thing up just to get yourself some Wargors. It also means we're going to need to increase Wargor capacity. I didn't expect them to be this useful. But buffing up Harpies is clearly necessary. What do we have here? Breakneck Charioteers. Terror for Razorgore Chariots and Fear and Terror. I mean, this is fine, but it's not a huge deal. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate the cause terror, but we still only have 2 of them in this army, and... Alright, well, judging by this, clearly we need at minimum 2 Wargors in this army. Nothing here makes me think that we really would need one in the Bull army. With the possible exception of replenished troops being possibly very, very useful. Campaign line of sight by 75%. Okay, that's not bad. Will of the Dark Gods. Ooh, a passive ability. This is actually good for Death Star formations, which Taurox is reasonably liable to do, and frankly, Totem of the Herd or Totem of Victims will do the same thing. And they also give a plus 15% campaign movement. Okay, damn it, we need Wargors everywhere, don't we? Yeah, looks like we need Wargors everywhere. This slightly changes things. It's going to take a while, but we'll have to very slowly walk one over to Taurox. He no longer has the building, and he has no intent to build one. So... Wait, does Morgor have one? He can get one, but frankly, Kazrak is reasonably close. I think we just walk one over to him. He wouldn't get too many benefits out of it, but nonetheless, I feel like every single lord is going to need one. Alright, fair enough. Khorne's Fury. I think Khorne's Fury is for... could put it into a Khorne army, but at the same time we could put it into a into our Bull army. Khorne does like the Minotaurs after all. And Confident I'm not crazy about, let's say. But the additional leadership on the Harpies might not be too bad. You know what, let's summon you, and then if needed, we'll summon another. How many more turns do we have of this? Alright, 3 turns. We may need to increase capacity further. Alright, I really wasn't expecting the Wargors to have such good traits on them. I am happy that they do, but, you know. Anyway, let's see who else needs to move before Taurox gets a-going. Well, I guess... Can we auto-resolve Tancred? I'm not sure. What I am sure about is we'll probably want to pop the... Solar Eclipse Dark Moon event. Shame about the momentum increase, but I really want to see what this can give us. Oh, the Dark Moon is currently giving us constant casualty replenishment. Oh, damn. Do we lose this right now? I'm not sure. I'm genuinely not sure. Ah, this guy's still here, though. I do like that you're still here. Can we fight you? We can fight you. Morgar's nearby. Look, he does need to head down here. Do we want to go through? I mean, would it take that long to go through here? We might actually be able to get another army up and running by the time we are here. We also need to figure out where we would want to set up a herdstone here to get maximum area denial. Delbers looks pretty good. I guess we could just raise Allenhof and Schoppendorf and then set it up at Delbers, though I feel like the Skaven nearby are just gonna settle these ruins. Anyway, Morgor, just go right here. We'll destroy these guys. Can't be letting them settle down here. Alright, move here. And I want to see what you've got. Nothing crazy. I do want to check out that Vorbergland Broodmother. Malagor. Your turn, sir, and Rakarth is still here, and he has been plagueinated. Oh, well, into that. A shame for you. Malagor, let's get you your points, and then let's move into battle. We will want you to get probably fueled by blood. No, you know what, let's get something wicked this way comes. Not a crazy debuff, but probably worth our time. We still have to get through all this magical stuff as well, but, yeah. Causeless Terror is not big enough deal. I don't care about Nightmarish Cabal at all. And Unholy Power is fine, but I'd prefer to move into Doom of Mankind and Greater Arcane Conduit first, so that's what we shall do. Away we go, a rematch with Rakarth. Although I don't imagine it shall be all that tough. Actually, it depends on what's in here, which I didn't check, and Pyrrhic Victory. Alright, well, Brachus and Rakarth are still going to be an issue, but they don't have the monsters this time around, or at least not a lot of monsters, or at least not a lot of the big monsters, so and we should be okay. Away. Alrighty, here we go again, a rematch with Mr. Rakarth and his supposed mastery of monsters. We'll see how that works out for him this time around, as Malagor is much more powerful than he was when the two first met. Of course, Rakarth and, well, more specifically Brachus will be difficult to bring down, but that was always the case, and we can still do stuff before we actually engage him. First of all, we're going to summon those defiled crows to fight the enemy harpies and whatever. Ooh, and you see that? I don't know how many that was, like 20 units? Yeah. That was a railgun blast from one of the Medusae. Last time, or the previous few times we fought, this is why I targeted those Medusae so hard, and tried to avoid allowing them to even get a single shot off on the flyers. They can be devastating, because that railgun essentially pierces through the entire unit, knocking so many of them out of the sky. I think it actually did more damage than the Black Dragon Breath from Rakarth, and that was only a single shot from the Medusa. Gotta love it. But anyway, looks like we're trying to lead Rakarth away from the enemy formation, and while the Defiled Crows will have been essentially wasted here, they will at least have heavily damaged the enemy Harpies, and the Vortex that they were summoned with still badly damaged the enemy army itself. Now we got the Flocks of Doom and the Penumbral Pendulum upon the enemy army, so I'm sure that Morgor has done his damage, and he has also managed to lead away Rakarth into the waiting pile of manticores, and this time himself as well. The last time he was essentially too scared to fight Rakarth, even with the backup from the various manticores, but this time he's stronger, he's got more debuffs, and we've got more manticore levels, so they're more devastating as well. Rakarth's at about half HP, he's got a little bit of that railgun support from the Medusa, but I think he'll get brought down over time. In the meantime, the rest of the enemy forces moving in towards our melee troops, Feral Cold Ones and Saber Tusks acting in concert to overrun our poor Ungors, but they're only in this army temporarily, and we don't care what happens to them. Another Flock of Doom is going to come down. Giant and our Gorbul are working away at those enemy units and dishing out the damage that the Ungors cannot. We're going to peel away a few Manticores as Rakarth has booked it on out of there, and now our Harpies have dropped down in the background on all the enemy range units. Since the melee units are engaged, they're not going to be threatening our Harpies, and our Harpies should be able to rip apart any of the enemy range units that they can find and isolate. And any enemy range units that are a little bit more fighty, like these Black Ark Corsairs with handbows, we simply send a Manticore in to poison them and to lead the Harpies. And there we go, the battlefield has turned into absolute chaos, go figure, for the Dark Elves, as their range units are overrun. Their melee units try in vain to do things like bring down the Giant. And Rakarth should be either off the map or having been brought down by Malagor. There is still, of course, a unit of Blackguard of Nagarond holding, but they're pretty much always the last to leave the field, which does make sense, but leave the field they shall, as the Blackguard will finally shatter, and the rest of the army will go. Rakarth is done for, and well, we may see him again, but we might not. Who knows? We'll find out at some point. A lovely little battle slash rematch, very quick battle, mind you, but certainly showing the difference in Malagor's army, as in how much it powered up. Malagor got plenty of damage dealt, and the rest of the army didn't take too much damage themselves, minus the two Ungor herds which ran again, but I think they do every single battle, and they just act sort of as meat shields here until we get, well, better meat shields. Anyway. Alright, very, very nice. Much better the second time around, /eagle, because, well, Rakarth didn't have nearly as much of a chance this time. It was still a close victory, but we didn't nearly get as badly damaged. Rakarth was still a huge pain to bring down, however, though Malagor did massive amounts of damage to the enemy armies. Our Harpies did quite well as well, and our Manticores did less damage, but, well, there's a reason for that, since they were hunting single entities like Rakarth and the Medusa, and the enemy Death Hag. Alright, we are going to, I guess, raise another herd stone here. Not for long, but we do want to. And there we go. Alright, now I guess you are going to want to build that pit hovel to get your own best or Wargor, and it'll take 2 turns, which is good because we still have that recruit rank +5 for a couple of turns, and then we'll delete it and get our money back. All for a single Wargor, but you know, we gotta buff the Harpies in this army, so you gotta do what you gotta do. And we do have the Giant building now as well, and we did want to build the Giants, but they will take 2 turns to build, so I think we'll build them when we want to actually build several at once. And we're saving the Dread right now for our new army, hopefully leveled at a higher level, so we'll wait on that. Now, Taurox, 'tis your turn once more, sir, and we would like you Well, I guess it doesn't change that we want you to head to Tancred Castle, so we'll pop you into Ruination. We'll head on this side of the castle, and hopefully we'll be able to move to Chantillon immediately after. Oh, we should also build the stuff at Landrel Barrow in a second. And do this. It is low casualties, alright. Hopefully this isn't a huge mistake and will cause us to need to replenish again. Actually that wasn't so bad. Good job. We will raise it. And then you'll back off this way, perfect. And then we'll go you into Juggernaut raiding. Advance as close to Chantillon as we can, and go on this side, raise it. And replenish, please. Of course, this will mean another auto-resolve, but what can you do? Go right here. Switch to regular stance, or wait, what are the defenders like? Oh, actually have some decent defenders. Might have to fight this manually. Else we suffer too much damage from the auto-resolve. I know it says low, but we're already damaged, so... We'll deal with it in a second. A ritual available at Landrel Barrow. Oh, that was fast. Oh, huh. That would probably be sufficient for this. I mean, technically, we can still pop it this turn. Oh, yes, that would... Yeah, okay, so that's what we'll do. We'll pop it this turn, after we take both Chantillon and Hautemont, assuming that we don't reach Cataclysmic Rampage in a single bound. Which I don't think we will. Alright, so we just need to fight this battle, and then we got that. Let's double check a few things before we do, however. First of all, I want to check all of the building places to see if there's any new herd stones that I missed, other than the one that we just looked at, which for some reason I didn't build stuff at. You're a new herd stone. And we definitely need the Chosen Sangor building here. Landrel Barrow, Chosen Sangors, and Nurgle. And that was Nurgle, right? Yes. Yes. Alright. Reichland proper is fine, Great Forest is fine, and the rest is fine. We'll need the rest of our money. Well, not all of it, but we'll need money. As we tend to. And did we move our hero? Yes, indeed we did. Alrighty. Well, Taurox, it's time for you to attack, sir. And ooh, so close to that Gorgon at level 28. Probably won't be from this battle, but I think the next one should do it for us. In that case... It'll increase our capacity to 2. Oh. You know what, let's get this preemptively on the Titans of the Deep Forest. Here's what I'm thinking. We'll still want to build 2 additional Gorgons, but I guess what we'll want to do is we'll want to build them at the same time as we build the Bulgors and other Minotaurs, retrofit essentially the entire army at once. So we'll save up the Dread to do it. It'll probably take a little while to do that. The rest of this I think is fine. There's more levels to do, but, you know, it's not a concern. Not against this. Actually, wait. Nah, we'll fight this manual. It's fun slaughtering our way through everything. Go. Alrighty, here we go again. We've played this particular map before, but there's a decent amount of defenders, and we may as well work our way through them. Granted, normally this might be auto-resolvable, but I wasn't really willing to risk it, and hey, I'm not tired of watching the bulls and do their thing, especially Mr. Taurox. Anyway, as usual, we'll charge in and through the enemy pile of men-at-arms here. It's going to... There we go, Taurox. The Gorbals, and... Well, actually, there's only one Gorbal on this side. Gorbal and Minotaurs and Razor Gores will charge through the Men-at-Arms while Taurox moves in to fight the Knights Errant. Activating that Bloodbeast to do a little bit of extra damage, and he's already up at 65 kills, 70 kills, and 12k damage. Very nice. I'm expecting that to be even greater as the battle goes on, and he's trying to get to the other units, move further into the enemy formation, while the rest of the units try to chase down those already fleeing Knights Errant and Men-at-Arms. Some devastating charges there. Truly, ogres eat your hearts out, I guess, or I guess they have Unstoppable Charge, or is it still called Ogre Charge? I think Unstoppable Charge is a separate buff now. Anyway, over on this side, the other half of our army is attacking that enemy barricade, which is going to take a while, I'm sure, but we're going to peel away everybody here and help the other side out. Instead, since we fought this battle before and did the exact same thing, we're going to do a little bit different and allow Taurox to do his thing by himself here. His entire army will fight on one side of the map, and Taurox by himself will fight on the other. And give him a little bit more of a spotlight. I wonder if we'll ever get to Archaon here, and I wonder if he will be our enemy. I'm kind of tempted to just have Taurox defeat him. Then we'll have to loop back around towards him. But we'll see. There we go, Taurox. I wonder how many of those guys he kills with a single blow from his axes. Let's see. It's kind of hard to tell. Their units are dying not directly at the axe blow, but several seconds afterwards. Oh, it's because they're dropping. Anyway, as in they are sent flying and they don't register as dead until they hit the ground, I guess. Anyway, another Bloodbeast activation from Taurox, and it looks like the enemy infantry, or at least another unit of enemy infantry, is running away. Foot Squires, despite their armor piercing, not really standing a chance at breaking through that Brass Bull's skin. Over here, the rest of our entire army fighting in a blob against the enemy knights. Such knights that remain, anyway. And infantry, and we still have not broken through the barrier, but mostly because the enemy just keeps sending peasants to die. Keeps sending them through the barrier to act as a living barrier for us. Whether it is a workable solution, I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, they can continue in that light, but once again, since this is a similar battle to what we fought before, this time we're mostly watching Taurox, who's going to continue rolling up the hill. And hey, some more knights. Maybe you should stop and fight Taurox? No? You'd rather fight literally the entire army? Yeah, alright, fair enough. And there we go. Just leave the peasants to face this thing. But then, even if you were to defeat the rest of Taurox's army, you'd have to come back and deal with him afterwards. So how are you planning to do that? Some brave peasants, though, to be here and attempting to hold Taurox back. Failing to do so, mind you, but nonetheless, brave. And how's that balance of power looking? About 90% in our favor. Taurox has nearly made his way through those units, and the knights did charge into the rest of our army, and by the looks of it, are about to get surrounded and destroyed. Well, maybe not surrounded, but certainly destroyed. Very few of them remaining now, and we'll give them a charge. Taurox has forced the spears to rout, and it looks like one unit remains. No, there's a couple units back here, but I'm not sure that they won't rout by the time that we get to these units. Alright, in you go once again, Taurox. Never enough things to kill. He does send a lot of units flying with every blow of his axes. And he attacks quite fast as well, which is nice. I think any two dual-wielding units that get to the faster attacks trait, though sometimes it's not listed, but I feel like they get it anyway, though I could be wrong. Alright, I believe the fourth units of the Knights Errant are trying to move in to deal with Taurox, but all they're gonna end up doing is feeding his axes some of their blood. And this time the rest of the army joins Taurox as well, but he never needed it. He's still at full HP and the enemy is shattered. Anyway, there we go. Decisive victory, and you know what? That was pretty fun. Still worth fighting these on occasion, in my opinion, especially to preserve HP, but also to watch the glorious action. Once we get Bulgors and Gorgons and stuff in this army, I'd still be willing to do another one of these in order to watch them fight. As in, not a field battle, but one of these minor settlements. Alright, very nice, and we get to see Taurox absolutely demolish his way through enemy infantry. Usually he's too busy hunting lords, looking for those good fights, but this time he just had some fun. Alrighty, we are going to loot and raise as we do, just gotta keep getting that money. We're gonna switch back to Juggernaut raiding, move all the way as far as we can to Hot Homa, and you know, it might also be worthwhile, since we're having a little bit of a tough time making money in certain capacities, might be worth our time and money and effort to build an army of sea beasts, as in a Beastmen army, and just to send to sea. It's not a huge priority, but we can rack up a lot of change with the islands, and I do have to wonder, would materials at sea, if we were to find it, reduce the construction cost of all of these little herdstone enhancements? Because if they do, it'd be very, very worth it indeed. And plus, you know, 20k from a Skull Island will buy us a lot of herdstone enhancements. Replenish Taurox's movement range. We still got that momentum. We are closing in on that cataclysmic rampage. We will, however, pop that solar eclipse because I'm curious about it. Claim. And we'll see what it gives us. Solar eclipse Dark Moon will trigger next turn. I'm gonna really hope that that reduces some kind of dread thing. Then we're gonna send Taurox in regular stance around Otama. We should still be able to reach it. And we should be within sight of COURONNE as well, which is fantastic. You should auto-resolve this, right? There's not much there. You know what? Go into Ruination. Erase the place. To shreds, you say. Then we will... It's not a crazy amount of money. You know what? Go for... Oh, wait, we still have all the casualty replenishment rate buffs. So yeah, just loot and raise, it's fine. Back away. And then get into raiding. And get as close to COURONNE itself as you can. Very, very nice. And wait. Can we still move? No, that completed the cataclysmic rampage. Not a big deal. Alright, fine, move in. Oh, with the cataclysmic rampage complete, we could potentially go for the call of the Minotaurs and get a bunch of dread reductions for the Minotaurs. Or continue the whole Wargore thing that we've got going, but we still have it for 3 more turns. Although, I wonder, wait, if we pick this, does it override the Call of the Wargores? Because that would be really unfortunate. I mean, we do still need a bunch more Wargores. And I guess even increasing Minotaur capacity doesn't help us as much as we'd like right now, because we can't build the meat larder for another some amount of turns. Also, what we want to do is pop the ritual right now, because there's nothing else nearby. I raised this, right? Yes. Perform ritual. Fantastic, and even more buffs for Taurox, and this unlocks in this Ruination level another potion of toughness, very nice. And, ooh, next level we get an additional 20% dread from the strong survive. Very, very nice. And hey, we've nearly unlocked the final battle, or at least we're getting quite close to it. Let's say 4 or 5 more rituals, depending on how many points we get apiece. Alright. I mean, I guess we have to find out now. I'm just gonna hope that this doesn't override the Call of the Wargores, so I'm going to pick one of these. What do we have as options again? I don't want to spend the capacity on Minotaurs right now. You know, I'm almost tempted to say maybe we should just pick the Wargore thing again. If we're not picking Minotaurs until the next rampage anyway. And we don't need any additional Gore Bulls at the current time. Though we will build another Minotaur-centric army because we have to, because you guys gave me like 8 million Minotaur names and I don't know what to do with them all. Yeah, let's double up on Wargores. See what happens. Claim reward. Then, if we take a look at the Wargore thing, yeah, it's for 8 turns now. Okay, so it stacks with itself. That's fantastic. Alright, very happy with that result. Everybody else, I believe, is good. Kaz is stuck. Taurox doesn't need to build. If we do want to build, though... we'll wait until next turn. Yeah, we'll wait until next turn. Because we want to spend our dread, we want to see what that eclipse does. You can undo that pit hovel and get it a little bit cheaper, though. I'm almost tempted to build that Shaman Spire. Just build a Shaman Spire. Honestly, the Shatterstone isn't really useful for you, to be honest. But Wargors will be. And build it anyway. I might as well max out all the armies as best we can. Morgurs will also need a lot of adjustment. But we're getting there, we're getting there. I'm also willing to bet these guys will redeclare war on us and attack Sahagun. But what can you do? Alright, and Taurox, we'll get back to you. We still have COURONNE to take, although, funnily enough, COURONNE is barely defended. It does have Grail Knights, but it's only tier 2. Alright, well, we'll take COURONNE, everything around it, and then we'll head down to the Oak of Prophecy and then take everything around that, and that would likely, let's say, get us to where we need to be. Ignore the rest of this. Let's see about that new moon. Or dark moon, or solar eclipse. There's just too many. Military alliance. Counteroffer. Sure, but with more money. There we go. I'm still not sure that there's any point whatsoever to doing that with the Horde Zinchans, but who knows. Maybe the Changeling will do something useful for us at some point. And it would actually be great if Village were to use his spawn ability to give spawn of Tzeentch to an army. Although for some reason the AI does that to enemies, and they should fix that too. Someone received Plague. Constructor challenges completed. Army receives Plague, and... should we not have had an event? Solar Eclipse Moon event will trigger next turn. Solar Eclipse Dark Moon event will trigger next turn. Huh? Oh, is that just this? Did that actually do nothing? I assumed it would do something. Like it would actually trigger an event, not just override this, because I think this was at 6 already? Just to double check, I don't see a world event here. Challenge completed, the strong survive, military alliance, yeah, nothing. Oh well, oh well. What can you do? What about the research? We still only have 4 turns on consume order, so that's probably what we do. There is shamanism to consider for that constant casualty replenishment rate, and World Bane for that charge bonus. I think we're gonna forego anything that costs money right now, though, so just keep going through these texts here. Taurox. Go into Ruination and besiege COURONNE. We do have 2 Herdstones. Alright, and close victory and medium casualties. I guess it is walled, and they do have some Grail Knights in there. I guess we could work our way through some Grail Knights. We won't heal up as much as we did before, so... and there may be good reason for it. But for now, let's check out the other armies. You little coward. You ran away from Morgur. How dare you? How dare you run from Morgur? What do we have at Allenhof? There's basically nothing there. Well, I guess we can raise it and then continue on to try to chase you down. And Korgoth Chaos Seeker, go find some chaos. I know it's difficult to find chaos in Warhammer World. Isilal the Wild is still right there, eh? Ambush stance, so we should destroy him. His army ain't all that much, though. Ooh, what we also should check, though, is Wargors. Another Nurgle's Foul Stink. Okay, that's not bad. First of all, you, sir. Magog Hearteater. Leadership. I think we're going to give that to the Harpies because they're relatively fragile and thus likely to rout. You've got a long... Oh, wait, actually. I lied. We don't need to give that to the Harpies because he can build his own. So we can just ignore that. And instead keep moving through these territories. Which also works. Alright, fine. Malagor, sir. Leave the place. And I wanted to raid, but I guess we're just going to go into Hidden Encampment again. And build up the last tier of it and build you your Wargor. And like so, 4K. A bit on the expensive side. I'm also wondering whether we should build him 2 Wargors, but for now I think we'll leave it be. Also, Malagor. I was thinking about getting you a Beast Shaman, mostly because, well, Flock of Doom is useful, you know, it'd be really useful on those Harpies, a massive amount of armor. So I think we are indeed going to get you another Bray Shaman. I guess we could level it up more if we get another Rampage, but level 9, it ain't too bad. Yeah, it's fine. Like so. Ungroll Gorehorn. Then, let's see everybody else. Since we got no event, I guess we'll raise a new army, but Kazrak will attack first. Kazrak, I would like you to get 2 of these guys. Wait, Nurgle's Foul Stink you can keep. Korn's Fury, however, will march towards Taurox. I guess we'll put Magog Hearteater in this army. I'll say the buffs that they give don't seem to be all that strong. Like, they're fine, but it's nothing crazy, so, Alright, we'll do that. Then we'll delete... I mean, just get rid of those Tuskor Chariots. We're not going to use them, we're just not. And then I guess... keep the Minotaurs for now, we'll delete them eventually. Delete the Gores without shields. Like so. Alright, then we'll put you into Kazrak's army. And we'll put you into Kazrak's army. And then I may get him one more, or we may even swap out the one that doesn't have Nurgle's Foul Stink for another Nurgle's Foul Stink. I don't know whether we need 3, but who knows. Go for Isilal. Alright, come on, ambush. And no dice. Oh, no. Well, he's going to run away and we won't be able to catch him then. Well, that's a crying shame. Well, let's pop ourselves into... raiding or hidden encampment? Hidden encampment he might want to move to Essen, and we might be able to catch him that way. Maybe that's the way to do it. Give it a try. Don't bother building anything, but just in case he attacks, let's level you guys up. Max out replenish troops so we don't have to move around that. These guys get their best thing at level 10, so we'll wait on that. Do we want to save points for Blood on the Wind? Or do we want to get Foe Seeker first? Well, you know what? I think we'll keep 1 point in Blade Master and then replenish troops and save the rest of the points. So it actually didn't really need to level them up all that much. But that's also fine. Also you, we do need to level you. We gotta get Pan's Impenetrable Pelt. Actually, get Flock of Doom first. And the thing is, we're not really using the... damaging spells of the Deathlore all that much, except the occasional Fate of Biuna, but I wouldn't waste it on a unit of Dryads, as it's too expensive for that. So yeah. Anyway, you sir, go outside of this place. Go into Ruination stance, and who are you at war with? You're at war with the Wargrove of Woe. Well, now you're about to be at war with us as well. And die. Call your allies to help. Why? No. It does nothing for us. Auto-resolve this. Please don't hurt our poor Chaos Spawn. Nope, they're fine. Nice. And we will... Bestial Rage, I guess. Yeah, wouldn't raise. No. Alright. Go into raiding stance, which should give you a little bit of movement, but not enough. Damn, I was really hoping that we'd get to Schoppendorf, but whatever. I don't know if this guy would be more willing to attack us because we're in raiding stance and thus vigor is hurt. Could be, so we'll stay in it. You, sir. We could get Bloodlust and... do we want Force of Change? It doesn't really do much for us. You know what, let's get Presence of Morsleib and actually start buffing up the units in this army. Also, how close are you? Ah, you're actually able to get to Bloodied Lair now. You know what? We need this. We need this for additional God Gore capacity because we're about to get additional God Gores. And in fact... it's a little bit on the expensive side. But also there's not much we can do about that, so just stay like that. And Taurox, your turn once again. Let's conquer COURONNE, shall we? We will raise another Herdstone here. Just to double check. They're probably going to build up armies and attack Castle Gisoro. We may want to level these, but we don't have the money for it right now, but that might change. Ooh. COURONNE should give us the reward of our Gorgon. Yes, please. Go for it. And manual fight. Alright, first of all, gate check. We are at 14. COURONNE is a bugged one. We won't be able to do a cinematic here. Well, that's a shame, but at least we can check this way now. Alright, away we go. Set this up and fight it manually then. We can breach those walls in approximately half a second, or 5 seconds actually, with our ability now. You guys stay back here. You're gonna be all group 1. And we're going to charge you all sort of towards the gate. Don't really care what happens to the Ungors, but frankly they're so fragile that maybe we don't bother to send them in until a little bit later. Alright, good enough. And blob it up and start deployment and start battle and go. 5 seconds, head directly towards the gate. And get ready for that Shatterstone. Right. Let's do this side. Alright, and as soon as the Shatterstone is up, now move yourselves, and... there we go. Towards the Knights of the Realm. Oh, you gotta love that frickin' ability. Alright, then we're gonna pop in you 2 casters right outside the tower, and we're in it now. Oh, lovely. Go, go, go. We should pans everybody up so that they're missile resistant. Nice and missile resistant. Beautiful. Nobody take too much damage. We need to make our way towards those field tribs as soon, or as quickly rather, as we can. Is there an enemy lord to contend with out here? If there is, I don't see him. Alright, Taurox, try to move through. And in fact, wait, you know what? Use Bloodbeast to annoy these knights and just attack them a few times. Alright, sorry this can't be a cinematic, guys, but, you know, it happens. It is still semi-bugged. Alright, looks like the knights are out. Head towards the next units and try not to get too damaged by all those damn trebs. And we do have another Shatterstone available. And what we should also do is give ourselves Visen's Wild Form on everybody here. Lots of extra armor. Are these Blessed Field Trebs? No, they're the regular Field Trebs. Blessed Field Trebs do plenty of armor-piercing damage, but the regular Trebs do not, which means they're fine. On the right side, keeping in a nice little Death Star like this means that I don't have to control it much, so we can still sort of watch it somewhat, make it a pseudo-cinematic, which it does work for me. Alright, and how is the damage? I'm sure that we'll take damage to at least some of our doggos. And what do we have here? Apocalyptic Vision. Yeah, there we go, use that. And everybody keep moving up. You know what we could also do? Pop Vile Entropy on both of you. Reduce their range and reduce their... and oh, the Ungors are moving in. Yeah, well, whatever. Ungors can move in. I don't mind. Alright, can a few of you break through this and then charge? There is a... oh, the Grail Knights are there. Taurox, 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 I need you. Don't think... no. Taurox, you go kill that. And oh damn, the Grail Knights are charging. Alright, we're gonna need to be careful here. Everybody focus down the Grail Knights and try not to get too badly hurt. And okay, yeah, you guys just stay there. Let's activate the Foe Seeker abilities on our bulls and activate their Hellfire Swords and a little bit of damage reduction. Pans activated again, mostly for the damage resistance. The ward save specifically. While we fight those Grail Knights. Alright. Back to the Grail Knights, who are scary, scary units. And they need to be destroyed. I'm sure Taurox could have handled them by himself just fine, but because we're in a Death Star like this, we can't really move away. But Taurox will lead a charge. Well, not really a charge anymore. Lead the blob. Lead the blob to engulf the enemy, and how are... okay, those are the peasants. How are those Grail Knights looking? Pretty bad. Here we're taking a little bit of damage ourselves, and yeah, some of the doggos have taken hits here. Alright, you know what, let's try to back the doggos away, pop them into a separate group here, group 4, and the rest of you can be part of group 1 with Taurox, and make your way up towards those damn artillery pieces. Alright, spellcasters, I would like you to pop the Skull of Catan, and then I would like you to pop a, let's say, Devolve, Overcast here, while the rest of you go after those Knights Errant. Taurox, probably should have sent you down there to kill the enemy lord, and in fact, while you all overrun the rest of this, go kill the enemy lord. And help out with those other units. Alright, do we have another Wisen's Wild Form available? Yes, indeed we do. Help out the doggos and the other hurt units. And the rest of our units will hopefully overrun the enemy. Taurox, the enemy is going to move some infantry in your way. Bloodbeast through it, and get to that enemy lord. And doggos, peel away from this. I'll let the Gore Bulls handle it. In fact, you, sir, try to go after that enemy lord, would you? Paladin versus Gore Bull. Oh, that's a scary Gore Bull leg right there. And Gorman, oh, hello. We have a friend, Taurox. Apocalyptic Vision up, and Paladin to be down shortly. Alright, our bulls look like they're trying to gore their own little friends there, but, well. That's the risk you run when you are in an army with a bunch of bulls. Alright, charge forward towards those peasant bowmen. Let's get the mages into the fray as well now. They are not in danger of being destroyed after all. And I do believe the battle should be just about ours. In fact, pop that Beastman roar, heal up, and we have the healing already popped on the mages. No, but do it. If the battle's about to be over, then we should heal as much as possible. Alright, no blood thing available. Well, unleashed Hounds of War here fighting. But they're only fighting men-at-arms. No, they are taking arrows while they're here. How's the HP damage? Definitely going to be greatest on the doggos. But I mean, we just sent them in together with the Death Star rather than caring about their HP, and it doesn't matter because COURONNE, just like that, very quickly, is ours. Alright. I wonder why this particular map is broken. I think this map was broken before too. Yeah, so it's just particular maps, I guess. I'm obviously not going to remember which ones are and which ones aren't, and also there's no way, I guess, to tell which map it is before going into battle, so you have to just wait to check the gate. But I am getting used to it. It's part of the process now, at least when running both mods. Alright, looks good to me. A new Herdstone to be raised at COURONNE, and a Luckstone, and there it is, the Bloodbrute Behemoth. Sadly, we won't be able to try him out this particular episode, but we will eventually. The last of our non-Regiment of Renown Ungors will go, and the Behemoth is in. And since we got that little bit of extra armor for him, he's a little bit more heavily armored at 90. Very nice. We got 1 point as well on Taurox. Honestly, I don't think the resistances matter much for him. He's doing just fine without it. And I guess we start moving through Primeval Rage now. Start making him a more buff fighter. He's been doing crazy well, and he's never gotten a single point in making him a stronger fighter either. It's pretty crazy. Alright, COURONNE. Oh, it is charge plus 5 faction-wide at max level, plus 1 at the first level. Man, I thought it was going to be plus 20 charge bonus faction-wide. Honestly, this is a little meh. I think SFO might need to do a little bit of work on the Beastmen. Maybe change up some of their technologies, get a little bit better in the way of these Herdstones. They clearly need a rework, because just comparing to the Grimgore campaign, something like Orcs, you can stack absolutely insane faction-wide bonuses over the late game, and by building the special chain of buildings and unlocking the, well, actually, just getting them to tier 5. Every single one of those buildings gives you like a plus 1% faction-wide charge, plus 1% faction-wide attack, etc., etc. Doesn't seem like the Beastmen get anything of similar caliber. Though granted, to be fair, so far it doesn't look like they've needed it. Alright. Anyway, ow. Maybe we'll get a new Herdstone at Castle Longi. I just noticed that people could settle here, because COURONNE only grabs these two and not this one. A crying shame, but we'll deal with it. Taurox, I want your bestial rage to keep climbing, so get outside of the settlement and then begin your raiding, and we cannot afford this stuff. Oh well. Isn't that a shame? Alrighty, I also... Ooh. There's a Beast Lord with Nurgle's Foul Stink and a strong Beast Lord. Now, as I recall, the Beast Lords can actually select a god to follow, and thus buff any of the chosen gores. This guy's clearly going to be Nurgle, but I wanted to build the ranged army, which is going to be a Tzeentch army next. Also, out of curiosity, who would be able to build Cygors for us? You would. And, oh, Actually, funnily enough, Taurox would be the most likely to be able to build us Cygors the fastest, because he'll be the first to reach tier 5 in 10 turns, and thus be able to construct them for everybody else. I don't think anybody else will be able to unlock Cygors very quickly at all. Which might mean we build the next army up together with Taurox instead. But I'm still thinking it should still be a Tzeentch army. It's easy to acquire the Ungor Raiders after all. Yeah, alright. It'll still be a Tzeentch army, but we'll do it next turn. I guess we'll do the strong one, although strong feels coronate to me. Is there anything else? I mean, to be fair, we can get capacities unlocked for more armies. We don't have to do a god army right now. Tyrant Unbroken raised with hounds. If we get a... No, but he's a great Bray Shaman of Death, which I'm not... Oh, Khorne's Fury. Cloven Herald will allow you to grow faster. I'm just thinking if we get one that we can transfer all of these doggos to. We do have to prepare for that after all. Oh. Could we put the Razor Gores in a Nurglite army? The bleedy stuff doesn't feel very Nurglite to me, though. This could just be a separate army. I'm not sure. I'm gonna end one more turn, then we'll use those Rewards of Dread, though, to get the next Lord up and running, since Taurox can no longer move anyway. So skip, and turn. And we got decent amounts of Dread now. Let's see if Isilal tries to attack us, though alas, I don't think we'll have time for another battle this episode. Pretty sure we've already had 4, although I've lost count. Let's see what Isilal does. And how did he do that? Oh, he bypassed Khazrak because Khazrak's ambush was full. Well, that's just rude. Military alliance with you rats. No, we've got to come back and kill you. What is this? Carl is recovering? Oh, I knew I should have just finished you off. Lanesha Giggle. Alright, decline. We're gonna have to go and kill them. Oh, you know what? We could kill the rats on the way to killing Carl. And just for losing. We were expecting them to kill him off. Huh. Oh well. Alright, the army receives plague from Malagor, sacrificed to Mathlan, Khazrak revealed, but hey, this'll give him a battle next turn, an actual battle worth fighting. And that'll allow his new Wargors to do their thing. Also, speaking of Wargors, we got a Booze Cravings one. Perfect Vigor ain't bad. Certainly something to be considered. I'll pop that ritual, damn it. Alright, last thing I wanted to do before calling this episode. Do we get... Which lord do we get? Well, okay, now, first thing is these upgrades. We can increase capacity at any time, so we just build 2 armies. Though, I do have to wonder how much this will increase. Will this give us an additional capacity? No. From now on, we'll only be able to get additional capacity through Dread expenditure. I really want to reduce the... Bestigor cost and the Tsangor cost. There's plenty of them that we need to build, but anyway. Upgrades. New Horde armies are raised with Horde and Gambit level 2 purchase. This one I don't think we're gonna purchase right now. And level 15 is a little bit on the too expensive side, so let's do Lords are at rank 10. Like so. And we're actually very close to another army capacity. Which means... Alright, that means we could just build 2 armies. One for Taurox when he reaches tier 5, and one more or less right now for Malagor. Malagor, I would like you to... We need to actually fight this. Oh, this is their capital. They got Blackguard and Aggron. Yeah, we might actually fight this next turn. I would like you to... I wonder, wait. Go to Ruination. I'm hoping that you can still raise a Lord to Leech XP. Recruit Lord. Yes, and we'll do, I guess, the Strong Beast Lord. It's fine. It would be wrong to get a Nurgle's Foul Stink on a Beast Lord of Tzeentch, right? And this one's definitely going to be a Beast Lord of Tzeentch. Yeah, alright, fine. Alright, now you're level 10, and I just want to check that I'm not mistaken. Yes, so we have the Blessing of Tzeentch, which does what? Chosen Sangors, Lord's Army, they get Ward Save, and we get the Hunger of Magic Area Hex. Leadership -5. Oh, the Leadership -5 might have, funnily enough, done decently for Nurgle's Foul Stink. And go figure. And go figure. Also, what we can do is get you your Wargore when we have enough money to actually get you a Wargore. And who are you? Oh, you're the Bray Shaman that was going to put into your army. Let's put you into that army right now. Like so. Lose the spear. Actually, wait, can you transfer? No. I mean, you can, but only after you kill him. It doesn't matter. Just delete him. I don't feel like going around to wait like that. Let's do this. Pop into the army. And we'll get a Wargore in here as well. Anyway, with that, unfortunately, I have to call this episode here as we are out of time. Next time we will start building up this army, which is going to have some Ungor Raiders. So finally can get some of their names on them. And it's going to be combined with Centaurs with throwing axes and Chosen Sangors, which have range attacks, and a bunch of Cygors as well, for a nice Beastman range army. I'm hoping that it'll be good. Taurox now has COURONNE and will be continuing his rampage around until he reaches tier 5, at which point we'll get another army to take all of these guys away from him, and then get him a bunch more Gorgons and a bunch more cows, and then Morgur will continue trying to destroy the undead here, the ever-living, as I recall. While Khazrak hopefully destroys Draika's faction for good next turn, and then starts looping down to Castle Drakenhof, where we have the next unique herdstone. I'm also wondering whether we should send Taurox up here into Albion just for fun. I am kind of curious as to what's going on over there, but I guess we could send another god army over there. Anyway, more fun Beastmen times to come, so stay tuned for that. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, especially if you want the hour-long next episode. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.